بسم الله.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ألم يروا أنا جعلنا الليل ليسكنوا فيه والنهار مبصرا إن في ذلك لآيات لقوم يؤمنون. ويوم ينفخ في الصور ففزع من في السماوات ومن في الأرض إلا من شاء الله وكل أتوه داخرين. وترى الجبال تحسبها جامدة وهي تمر مر السحاب صنع الله الذي أتقن كل شيء إنه خبير بما تفعلون. من جاء بالحسنة فله خير منها وهم من فزع يومئذ آمنون. ومن جاء بالسيئة فكبت وجوههم في النار هل تجزون إلا ما كنتم تعملون. إنما أمرت أن أعبد رب هذه البلدة الذي حرمها وله كل شيء وأمرت أن أكون من المسلمين وأن أتلو القرآن فمن اهتدى فإنما يهتدي لنفسه ومن ضل فقل إنما أنا من المنذرين وقل الحمد لله سيريكم آياته فتعرفونها وما ربك بغافل عما تعملون. صدق الله العظيم.
You there, Rajan? But we can't hear you.
Assalamu alaikum.
Now we can hear you. We couldn't hear you earlier. But John, we can't hear you.
How about now?
It's still like.
Can you hear me? What's up? Can you hear me?
Better now, but you got to put your volume loud because you have to speak louder. For some reason, we can't hear you.
How about now? Can you hear me better?
Yes. So you have to speak a little louder, Bajan.
Ooh, all right.
It's lagging. It's lagging a bit.
My voice is lagging?
Yeah.
How about now?
Now it's much better.
Much better?
Yeah.
Okay. That's very interesting.
What happened?
I don't know, just trial and error. We just don't know. Some things are just in the hands of God Almighty. Don't know what happened. Again, Assalamu alaikum Mufti Sab. And thank you, Idris, Hafiz Idris, all the way from Dallas, Texas, reciting some beautiful recitation for us. Alhamdulillah. Mufti Sab, how's it going, Mufti Sab? Tell me what's going on.
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing better today. I got my Starbucks.
What?
I got sugar, I got caffeine. You know me, I'm going to be very excited today for tafsir.
I haven't spoken to you since yesterday's live stream.
I know I haven't seen you. It's okay. I mean, this is good that we meet face to face. You know, right in front of me.
I appreciate this opportunity to be. Since we're going live stream, I see you every day. Otherwise, I can't even see you every day.
Well, that's not me. That's not me. That's you, because you never pick up your call. Never pick up a call. Phone. What's the use of a phone if you don't pick up a call?
That is true. That is true. How's it going? Jump right into it.
Let's get into it, Mufti Sahib. I have the Mus'haf open in front of me. I have you, the Allama, Mufassir, Maddu Zillu Ali, Wahwa, Wahwa. We have you here, and alhamdulillah, we finished. We talked about the 18th juz, and we did not discuss much on the 19th juz. So if Mufti Sahib, if you could discuss something about the 19th juz, and then we can move into the 20th juz, because technically we're supposed to be on the 20th juz, correct?
Yeah.
So, and guess what, Mufti Sahib? We're not far away from Surah Yasin.
Yes, sir.
We're not far away from your Surah Yasin. So can you?
It feels unreal, but we're already on the 20th juz. It feels like we just started this yesterday. Honestly, doesn't the audience feel the same way? It feels like we just started this yesterday, and we're already on the 20th juz.
You know, there's a lot of things I'm going to miss about this Ramadan. I mean, some part of this Ramadan, I said it's a blessing, because spending time with the family, with my children, praying the salawat 5 times salawat with them at home, and you know, I mean, I travel a lot. You know that, right, Mufti Sahib?
Yeah, you do, right?
Huh? No, just collecting those air miles, you know, sky miles,
Okay.
you know. But it's not that. It's just the fact that we are home with our family in the month of Ramadan, and then we are doing so many other things that we would typically not have the time to do because of Ramadan engagements. And one of them is this: being able to come on live stream, discuss the Quran. And I always thought like giving one angle, one perspective is not easy. Giving, you know, multiple people giving different perspectives, it helps me. Even me, I am learning so much. Sometimes you may be reading the same book that I'm reading, right? I don't know what books you're reading, but you understand something much deeper. You know, you're a daiwar, you know, and then me, I just, you know, I understand something different. So this is why the Quran, like, it's لا ينقضي عجائبه, you know, ولا يشبع منه العلماء ولا ينقضي عجائبه. People can never be satisfied with the Quran. There's so much happening in it, and the beauty of it never fails to impress you. It's always like, you know, like, you know, people might be saying, oh wow, every single night the brothers are coming on and they're putting on a show. Let me be honest with you. The reality is that it is so easy to put on a show when you're discussing the Quran, because the Quran is impressive. Like, we're not discussing celebrities, you know, like artists. We're not gossiping.
When something is very beautiful, you don't need to go to Sephora a lot, do you?
No, we don't. We just, you know, CoverGirl too has good products too. You know, so we don't have to go anywhere. Everything, if the Quran has so much beauty in it, ولا ينقضي عجب ولا يخلق عن كثرة الرد. And you know, you heard the recitation, and you'll hear it more. You hear it all your life. The recitation never gets redundant. You're like, I've heard this before. I've heard this nasheed before. I've heard this speech before. It's recycled. But the Quran, Rahman, it just sounds Rahman, right? So
it always sounds beautiful.
It always sounds beautiful. So the information that we're getting together and sharing with the crowd, it's just, you know, it's amazing. Honestly, when it comes to the Quran, I wish Allah makes us like this. You know what the Prophet says? فَصِيحًا إِذَا كَانَ فِي ذِكْرِ رَبِّي وَفِيمَا سِوَاهُ كَانَ ذَلِكَ كَانَ أَعْجَمًا وَفِيمَا سِوَاه فِي الْوَرَاءِ كَانَ أَعْجَمًا. When it comes talking about Quran and Islam, we should be very eloquent. We should want to talk about it. Anything else, we should be very careful. So Mufti Sahib, take over, Mufti Sahib.
Yeah. I mean, absolutely. On those lines, I remember I mentioned this like many nights ago, and I'm very quick to say this over and over again. Like, you see, the thing is that people are appreciating what we're doing, the time we're spending, but the reality is, this is Allah's words, right? And you know, this is a gift from Allah. And I gave the example, like, if you get a check in the mail, you don't even know who the mailman is. You don't thank the mailman. You thank the man. You thank the one who gave it, who sent it. Yep. So this book is sent by Allah. I mean, we're just doing our job. But really, we thank Allah that we're so grateful and honored to be Muslims and have iman, that we can discuss the book of Allah and the words of Allah. There's no need to be appreciative of us. Honestly, we're just doing our job over here. And that gets me right to the next topic over here. In the 19th juz, Bajan, there are 3: Surah Furqan, Surah Al-Shu'ara, and then there is Surah Al-Naml.
Mufti Saab froze. Mufti Saab froze.
You're not frozen.
My goodness. Something wrong with it. Mufti Saab, you're freezing up. You're freezing up, brother.
No, Bajan, I'm good.
He said something about the 19th juz, and he has completely froze upon us. God help him. Revive Mufti Saab's Wi-Fi. Bismillah. Everybody say Allahumma salli ala Muhammad.
Bajan, you might have froze. I'm okay.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought it was you. I was doing all the dhikr for you. I was like,
no, I'm good, Bajan. Stop blaming me, bro.
I swear I couldn't see it. All I saw was this. You know, that's all I saw. But I think on my side it froze. Mufti, I am wired up. I'm literally wired up. I got wires all around. I feel like like some hero right now, wired up.
So
I feel like the FBI.
So listen, Bajan, here's the thing. In the 19th juz, there is 3 surahs, right? There's Surah Furqan, Surah Al-Shu'ara, and Surah Al-Naml. In Surah Al-Shu'ara, and please listen, when I speak about this, I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. I don't want to, hold the wrong pulse or do anything wrong. But really, I want to mention this. When Allah talks about all the different prophets in Surah Al-Shu'ara, He talks about many different prophets. He talks about Nuh alayhi salam. He talks about Salih alayhi salatu wasalam. He talks about Hud alayhi salam. He talks about Shu'aib alayhi salatu wasalam. He talks about Lut alayhi salatu wasalam. All right. So listen, here's the deal. Every single prophet, when they came to their nation, they had the same message. If you look, it's the same message. It said, Inni lakum rasulun ameen. Every single time it was the same thing. Inni lakum rasulun ameen. Listen.
Where are you exactly? What ayah?
It's repetitive. Every single. So we're looking at right now. I'm looking at ayah number 161, but it's repetitive. It's over and over again. Inni lakum rasulun ameen. I am to you a trustworthy messenger. I'm trustworthy. You already know. Like one of the prophets' laqabs was Ameen. He was already known as a trustworthy person before Nabuwah came to him. So all the prophets, they had good reputation among the people. That tells us to be a messenger, to be a conveyor of the message of Allah. We have to make sure our reputation is good. We have to take care of our reputation. Okay. Then he says, فَاتَّقُوا اللَّهَ وَأَطِيعُونَ, fear Allah and obey me. And then he says, وَمَا أَسْأَلُكُمْ عَلَيْهِ مِنْ أَجْرٍ إِنْ أَجْرِيَ إِلَّا عَلَى رَبِّ الْعَالَمِينَ.
That was like the message of all. This is like, you find this within all the prophets. They're saying the same thing.
Every single prophet said these same 3 things. First, إِنِّي لَكُمْ رَسُولٌ أَمِينٌ. I'm a trustworthy person. فَاتَّقُوا اللَّهَ وَأَطِيعُونَ, second ayah, second and third point together. Fear Allah, remember Allah. And if you want to get to Allah, follow me. That's the third thing.
Wow.
And this great job that I'm doing, this great task that I'm doing, like your task is to take out people from Jahannam and put them and show them the path of Jannah. The greater the task, the greater the responsibility, the greater the appreciation, the greater the money. So a doctor, as his specialty gets higher and higher, the more money he gets, the more gratification the person gets. You understand, Majan? These people are tasked with the greatest task ever. But they always have a disclaimer at the end of the conversation, and they say, we are not asking you for any ajr. Now, what does ajr mean? Now, just a simple translation of ajr would be, we're not asking you for any method of payment. We're not asking you for any honorarium. We're not asking you for any money. So again, when I say the word honorarium, I'm talking.
Don't say the word honorarium. It gets me very irritated.
Because we know, man, it strikes a wrong chord with many. See, I'm a scholar. We're in the fraternity of scholars, and there's nothing wrong with honorariums. To be honest, I mean, people know that I never accept it, never demand it. But there are scholars. It's part.
If someone offers to you and you don't want it, just give it to me. I'll take it. I'll take it, man. I'll do something good with it.
Okay, khalas. Listen, yeah, we have a very tilted society. Like. I believe demanding honorariums is incorrect, but I also believe that when someone comes to you and not appreciating them and giving them a gift is also incorrect, right? But you have both sides of the coin over here. So, but here, this is not about money or honorariums. We're talking about something else. You know what else ajr means, Bajan? Ajr also means appreciation, gratification. I don't need you to appreciate what I'm doing. I don't need you to do that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, Bajan? Ma as'alukum alayhi min ajr. I don't need you to appreciate what I'm doing or to tell me you're doing a great job. But then you're freezing. I'm gonna keep on talking, okay? I don't need you to do that. So look, what happens now? We're living in a society nowadays, the millennials especially, where we're always seeking instant gratification, appreciation. We're always seeking that, and really, that Allah is teaching us over here in these parts of the Quran. Look, don't seek appreciation around beyond you. Don't worry about it. As long as Allah appreciates your work and your effort, it doesn't matter if anyone else. Yes, it is true that a person who does not appreciate another person can never appreciate Allah. Man lam yashkur an-nas lam yashkur Allah. But to demand appreciation, to expect appreciation, this is leading to a disaster in our society. So now, for example, everyone who's just doing their job as a human is also trying to get appreciated. For example, no one appreciates you. No one's gonna thank you, because you never threw garbage on your neighbor's lawn. Thank you so much, brother. You did a great job. You never threw. No, you just did your job. You were not supposed to throw garbage on your in your neighbor's lawn. You just did your job. That's your job. That's, as a human being, you were supposed to do that. You don't get appreciated for doing your job. And now there's participation medals now, Bajan. When we were young, like if you never got first, second, or third, no one knows you. But now there's like participation points. Like you part good. This is for you smiling. This is for you doing this. And now parents are making the children always feel so special, which is awesome. But then we're living in a society where we always are demanding, expecting appreciation, gratification, which becomes poisonous. And Allah is saying the prophets were always telling their people, we don't even want you to say thank you to us. We don't even want you to say thank you. Don't say thank you. We don't need you to say thank you to us. Listen, Bajan, a person who's saving a life at the hospital, a doctor, that's his job, Bajan. That's his job. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and of course, we should appreciate him doing his job, but he's just doing his job. And he should not demand or expect people to appreciate what he's doing. A husband who's doing his job. But a lot of marriages, when we marriage counseling with them, a lot of marriages, you will hear this a lot. You see, I do this, I do that, my husband never appreciates. Or I do this, I do that, I do this, my wife never appreciates. So the thing is, that word appreciation gets thrown around a lot. Look, you do your job, and remember, Allah appreciates what you're doing. Remember, the one who you're doing it for appreciates it. Don't worry about it. You will get rewarded for it. You will get blessed for it. Whether the other person realizes or not, whether the other person even notices or not, it doesn't make a difference. Allah notices. Abu Hazm rahimahullah, he says, "Uktum hasanatik kama taktum sayyiatik." He says, hide your good deeds, meaning don't worry about getting your good deeds to be noticed, just like how you hide your bad deeds. You see what I'm saying? Like, this is that Muhammad bin Wasir rahimahullah, he said that the people of the past, they would cry for 20 years in tahajjud salah. Like every night they would cry in their tahajjud salah for 20 years, and their wives would not even know that they're crying. They wouldn't even know. Their own partners in their homes would not even know how great of a worshiper, how great of an abid this person is, right? And so he says, so that's why the definition of a good deed, al-amalu salih, Ali ibn Abi Talib says, the definition of a good deed, الذي لا تريد أن يحمدك عليه أحد إلا الله.
Subhanallah.
Wallahi, man, this is the
definition. So no wahwa anymore.
This is the definite. If anyone wants to know the definition of a good deed, this is the definite. And this is what these. Why does Allah repeat this over and over and over again in the Quran? It comes in Surah Yasin as well. In ajri illa ala rabbil alameen. Ma asrukum alayhi min ajr. Ma asrukum alayhi min ajr. Ajr means, it doesn't just mean money or wealth. It means any sort of appreciation. It's like, I'm not even asking you to recognize what I'm doing. Literally, I don't need you to do that. Because the one who I'm doing it for recognizes, appreciates, and will reward.
And so one of the beautiful things, some people can say that, but prophets lived that because they had very little followers. And they had no criticism, but they never stopped their mission. Today we have 100 people, motivating us, but 2-3 people criticize us. That's it. I'm done. We get offended. Do you know that statement of Luqman Hakim, where he says that you are sincere when the praises of people don't over excite you, when praise and the compliments of people and the criticism of people are equally the same. Luqman said that, correct? So Go ahead. Sorry.
So basically, just to conclude what I was saying, but then what is a good deed, guys, brothers and sisters? A good deed is al-amalu salih. The words of Ali bin Abi Talib. A good deed is a deed, is an act that you do that you have no intention. You don't care about. You don't want anyone else to praise you but Allah. You don't want anyone else to appreciate you but Allah. And I conclude by saying this. I have
a question for you because right now you're talking to me. You're talking to me too. So I like
honestly, I'm looking at Google right now. I'm not
okay. Look, listen to me.
I'm not looking at you. I'm not. You get me distracted, man. You get me distracted. I'm looking. My screen right in front of me is Google.
Okay, Mufti Saab. But honestly, everyone deep down wants to be appreciated. Is that against the level of sincerity? Like we're doing all of this, and the people like when someone says thank you to me, Jazakallah khair, I feel motivated. That's natural. I don't know if you do, but when someone says wah wah, I get excited, man. I want to say another poem, you know, then I'll say an Urdu poem sometimes. If I get really excited, I might say an Urdu poem. So I don't want to get to that level, right? But it is natural, like when someone gives donations, you thank them, you appreciate. Our job is to appreciate people. So where is the balance, Mufti Sahib?
Here's the thing. Look, think about this. When Allah talks about in Surah Al-Hujurat, when Allah talks about hearing bad news, when hearing someone say negative things, He's not talking about the one who's bringing the message. He's talking about the people who's listening to the message. Surah An-Nur is not about people saying the message, but it's about people receiving the message. So Allah says, "In ja'akum fasiqum binaba," that there's no message for that fasiq. Oh, don't do this, don't do that. The first message is for the people who are listening to the message. Allah says, if a fasiq comes to you with news, like a sinner, an open sinner comes to you with news, then verify, clarify, investigate before you spread the message, right? So there's always two sides of the coin, right? That doesn't mean the other side of the coin is not relevant. Of course, it's important. It's important. It's extremely important to appreciate other people's efforts, to recognize other people's efforts. But Jan, the Prophet ﷺ he recognized every single last person's efforts. The greatest thing about the story of that woman who was cleaning the masjid of the Prophet ﷺ
that story makes me very emotional.
But Jan, look, this man is the busiest person on the face of the earth. We have 2-3 kids in our family, and so many times in our life we fail to even appreciate or even recognize something happening right in front of our eyes in our own home. In our own home, we fail because we're so busy.
That's why a lot of kids also grow up very insecure because they're never appreciated.
Yes, exactly.
Because all I heard my dad calling me, you fat boy, you potato. Like, look at you. And even girls, like, who's gonna marry you? Even guys, like, what are you gonna do in school? You got
Bajan. Listen, we'll talk. That's a different topic for another day.
Okay, sorry. I got excited.
That's a topic for you got excited. Too much Starbucks. That's a different topic. That's true. I'm saying that's true. That's the other side of the coin. That's true. Yes. The Prophet ﷺ was the most grateful and appreciative person to ever walk on the face of the earth. Man, look at him, Bajan. He is leading the entire nation in the city of Medina. But the whole story about that woman who used to clean the masjid, the thing that sticks out to me the most is not the fact that the Prophet ﷺ went for her janazah, is the fact that the Prophet recognized her absence.
Wow.
I mean, people sometimes in our community, they don't show up for the masjid for salah, and we fail to realize that they're even there. Like they were not, like they were, you have a Flint community, I'm Warren, but what happens is like someone's in the masjid next to you, then you're so busy, you're caught up with so many things that you don't even realize that that person who was standing next to you for 3-4 weeks, now he's no longer there for 2-3 weeks. Months go by, oh, what happened to that guy? You know what I'm saying? The greatest part of that story that sticks out to me is how the Prophet ﷺ realized and recognized her absence, man. The same day, not a week later. Not a week later. And her name is not even mentioned in hadith, Bajan. Her name.
And also breaks the stereotype that she wasn't Arab, she was from Africa.
See?
She was an African woman who was she was not native to the community. She was a stranger in that sense. And the Prophet appreciated her.
Yeah, so that is true. That on one hand,
who do people appreciate nowadays? Only rich people, influential people. And I was like, I need to go to someone because I need to get donations from them or pick up a check from them. Like we don't even, when we remember people is when we meet them. Like when they're how about like Mufti Sahib, I have to say this. What is it? One of the most impressive, because you talk about appreciation, what is one of the most impressive things that you think the Prophet appreciated? This is that story of that woman who was a cleaner, kind of she used to clean the masjid of the Prophet ﷺ. But what was one of the most impressive things the Prophet ﷺ did to like appreciate someone?
You tell me, Bajan.
I think there are a lot, but even he appreciated a parent of a kid of Medina when that parent died.
Yeah.
Like,
a
parent, like who knows about parrots? Like I don't know how many people have pets and they have pet names. He knew the name of the pet. He knew there was a parrot, and he went up to the kid and he asked him, "Man, everything be all right?" You know, like yeah, the Prophet was so engaged, man. There's the second side of the appreciation, but I just don't want to feel insincere because sometimes I do like when people appreciate me, and that's
Here's the thing, Bajan. The fact is, that's true. It is true. It's natural. We want to be appreciated when someone.
When I compliment you, your eyelids, you blush and you get all excited and stuff like that. Don't like your big smile, your teeth, all the your long hair starts to curl up. All that kind of stuff happens.
And my turban doesn't fly off. That's all it is.
You get excited. So what? Come on, man. Be realistic a little bit.
Yeah. So listen, but it's true. Look, we're all human beings. It's natural to feel good. That's not the point over here. The point is when we're doing something good, know that Allah appreciates our efforts. Know that Allah appreciates our work. It's good enough, man. That's good enough. We're so into that, mode of like how many people liked our post, how many people shared our post, so because of that, it gets in our head, and now we fail to so now when we get criticized, it hurts us, it offends us. It's so hard to correct someone nowadays because they're so sensitive, because they don't know, we don't know. And here the prophets, I don't know, something, no, we don't need you to thank us. Don't worry about it. We're just doing our job. We're doing our job. So this is one aspect, one element. And people who are work and this is why we just need to understand that level of what appreciation means. And don't worry if you don't get appreciated, don't put your head down. As a wife, as a husband, don't put your head down. But we do have a responsibility to be grateful to others, and if we are, then Allah will recognize our appreciation. Allah will amplify our ni'mas. So that's 19th.
You don't want to say anything. Thank you for that, Mufti. You don't want to say anything about the closing verses of Furqan. You want to say anything about Abdul Rahman, or should we leave that for the last 10 nights?
Abdul Rahman, there's so many things about Abdul Rahman. I think, but then what you need to what we need to do is talk about there's two elements. We have about 7 minutes left.
So I want people to know that if they were to go to Surah Furqan and read from verse number 63 to the verse number 77 of Surah Furqan, chapter 25, they will learn the qualities of those who are true worshippers of Allah, Ibadur Rahman. So we can let people read into it. Maybe we can do a presentation about this some other time in the year, inshallah.
John, I want you to speak about. There's two ayahs over here that correlate and will conclude. These are the verses of.
No, we need to talk about the 20th juz. So we need to go to 20th juz.
20th juz. We're in 20th juz.
Okay.
We're in 20th juz, and these are verses of the 20th juz of Surah Al-Qasas. Okay. So and we're gonna end with. We're gonna end Surah Al-Qasas today, and we'll talk about Ankabut tomorrow. In Surah Al-Qasas, there's a theme over here, which is an interesting. It starts with there's an ayah at the beginning, and it ends, and there's many beautiful gems in Surah Al-Qasas. And most of it talks about the story of Musa alayhi salam. There's a lot we can discuss over here, but over here, Allah in the Surah Al-Qasas, He says a verse, إِنَّكَ لَا تَهْدِي مَنْ أَحْبَبْتَ وَلَكِنَّ اللَّهَ يَهْدِي مَنْ يَشَاءُ. And toward that, you cannot guide the one who you wish to guide, but Allah guides whoever He wishes to guide.
Where is that again?
It's in Bajan, it's right there. You gotta find it, Bajan.
All right, okay.
That's your job, Bajan.
Oh, sorry. Thank you. I got it.
Huh?
I found it. I think I found it.
So let me do my job, okay?
Okay, go ahead.
So and then you have towards the end of Surah Al-Qasas, you have Allah talking about Qarun. Inna Qaruna kana min qawmi Musa fabagha alayhim. Right? You have Allah talking about Qarun, and verily Qarun was a man from among the nation of Bani Israel. And he was a relative of Musa alayhi salam. Qarun was a Muslim. Qarun
he was also
a cousin of Musa alayhi salam. So these two ayahs correlate because Allah in this surah is telling us that never be satisfied with the position you are in life, because hidayah, it doesn't matter how the journey started of your life, it matters how your journey ended. How did you leave this world? It doesn't matter how many times you said la ilaha illallah throughout our life, but the effort of our life is to make sure that la ilaha illallah is flowing on our tongues and is embedded in our hearts the day we're leaving this world, right? Lastul an. Ahmad bin Hanbal said, no, not yet. And some other mashayikh have also, said that, no, shaitan, I'm not safe from your trick yet. Until I leave, I'm not safe, right? So here's Qarun, who was among those chosen people who heard the messages of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He heard it. And now, because of his arrogance, he got wealth. And now he's saying that, no, this is mine. And he got destroyed because of that. So this hidayah that we have, Bajan, you wanted to speak about that earlier about Abu Talib, how when the Prophet made so much effort, this ayah was revealed about Abu Talib and the Prophet. What happened there? But tell us about that.
So I think this is the verse you're telling me to talk about. It's 56 in Surah Qasas.
Yeah.
Can you see me clearly? I know you're looking at Google, but I'm not lagging, am I?
No, you're good.
All right, thank you. Do you notice a difference in my look today?
You have a different background.
That's yesterday, so you don't notice anything. Okay, fine. But a
better camera?
No, it's all the same. I'm just messing with you. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that you cannot guide those who you want to guide. The guidance is in the hands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We continue to try. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Mufti Sahib, through the Quran, how worried he was in trying to convince his followers, his ummah, to accept Islam. Correct?
Yeah.
He would all day go over and over, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had to comfort the Prophet. فَلَعَلَّكَ بَاخِعٌ نَفْسَكَ عَلَىٰ آثَارِهِمْ. Like Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, you don't have to overwhelm yourself. And there are verses that are called the ayat at-tasliyah, where literally they're sent to comfort the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam because he was so overwhelmed in the matter of the da'wah and convincing people to accept the message. Allah said, فَذَكِّرْ إِنَّمَا أَنْتَ مُذَكِّرْ لَسْتَ عَلَيْهِمْ بِمُسَيْطِرٍ. Your job is to just remind them. You're not appointed in charge of them. Correct, Mufti Sahib? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, إِنَّمَا عَلَيْكَ الْبَلَاغِ إِنَّمَا عَلَيْكَ الْبَلَاغِ. Your job is to convey the message. Let the rest happen. إِنَّمَا أَنَا قَاسِمٌ وَاللَّهُ يُعْطِي. Can you hear me? Is my voice echoing?
No, you're good.
I'm very insecure right now because of
the whole... Mudassir Bhai, who's 5 years old, because he says yesterday he said he was 5. He's saying that Shaykh Abdullah just wants to be appreciated. We appreciate you. That's what he's saying.
Shukran. Yeah, shukran. But the thing is, Mufti Sahib, now we have the Prophet's own relative. This is a huge discussion where a man that showed solidarity to the Prophet ﷺ more than anyone else. Like, early Islam. Abu Bakr as-Siddiq was a Muslim from a non-Muslim community who showed the Prophet ﷺ support. The Prophet ﷺ became orphan when his mom, when he was 6 years old. His father passed away before he was born. He was 6 years old when his mom passed away. 8 years old when Abdul Muttalib passed away. His grandfather passed away. After the age of 8, he was in the custody of Abu Talib, his uncle. All the way to the age of 48, 49, Abu Talib was around. For sure, the Prophet got married at 25. He was more independent. He became wealthy in the marriage of Khadija. He had children. But there's still, Abu Talib was always in the picture. And then finally, when the Prophet got prophethood, Abu Talib was defending the Prophet ﷺ. One of the most beautiful incidents I find with this is when Abu Talib, when the Makkans came to Abu Talib and said, Muhammad, your nephew, has gone overboard in the sense, فرقت جماعتنا وسب آليتنا, وسف أحلامنا. He's made our forefathers look stupid, right? He has divided our community. You have to convince Muhammad to stop calling towards God. That it's enough, because Makkah is, everyone is accepting Islam, and now there's this division, right? So Abu Talib is convinced, and he goes to Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he says, Ya Muhammad, abqi alayka wa ala nafsik. Abqi alayya wa ala nafsik. Let's keep this message between you and me. Don't go public with it. Like, I know, like, you're so passionate about it, but like, just keep it, a little bit inside. Don't go public with it. Keep it private. And the Prophet ﷺ cannot do that because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَاكَ إِلَّا رَحْمَةً لِلْعَالَمِينَ. Right? يَا أَيُّهَا النَّاسُ إِنِّي رَسُولُ اللَّهِ إِلَيْكُمْ جَمِيعًا. Prophet has to go public. You can't hide this truth. So it's going to be very difficult for the Prophet to accept that type of bargain or type of offer. So the Prophet ﷺ, when he noticed his uncle kind of backing off in support, he said, "Wallahi law wudi'at ash-shamsu 'an yamini wal qamaru fi yasari ma taraktu hadha al-amr." I swear, if you put the sun in my right and the moon in my left, I will never stop calling towards God, except in two scenarios: ahliku fi talabi, or one, I die doing this, or yuballighu haythu yablughu hadha ad-din haythu yablughu al-layl wan-nahar, or this deen reaches the place, far parts of the world where the day and the night has also touched. So when Abu Talib saw the reaction, and the Prophet started crying because he noticed his uncle kind of like stepping back, Abu Talib saw the emotions of his nephew, Muhammad ﷺ, and he said a very nice poem in support of his nephew. I want you to know, Mufti Sahib, how much support he gave, and then when he dies, how much pain the Prophet feels. So you can kind of understand that perspective. He says, "Wallahi lan yasilu ilayka bijam'ihim hatta uwassid fi at-turab dafina فأمضي لأملك ما عليك غضا وأبصر وقر منك بذاك عيونا ودعوتني وعلمت أنك ناصحي من خير الأديان البرية دينا لولا الملامة وحذاري صبة لوجدتني سمحا بذاك مبينا." Kind of, there's more lines to this poem, but he says, "Wallahi, I swear, you have to understand." He said, "I swear, the people of Makkah will not touch you, they will not harm you as long as I'm alive. فَأَمْضِي لِأَمْرِكَ مَا عَلَيْكَ." Go ahead and fulfill the cause that God has sent you with. وَأَبْشِرْ وَقَرَّ مِنْكَ بِذَاكَ عُيُونًا. Know that I'm going to be here to protect you. وَلَقَدْ صَدَقْتَ وَكُنْتَ قَدْ أَمِينًا. One part he says, I know you were always the honest person, and I know you're speaking the truth. وَدَعَوْتَنِي وَعَلِمْتُ أَنَّكَ نَاصِحِي. You invited me, and I know you are calling me towards the truth. And then he says in the end of this poem, if it wasn't for the backlash and the criticism of Makkah and my relatives, I would be the first person to accept your religion. You know, لولا الملامة وحذاري ثبت لوجدتني سمحا بذاك مبينا. I would be the first person going public with your message, but he was afraid of the backlash and criticism. Finally, when on his deathbed, the Prophet
so he was always the most supportive of the Prophet ﷺ. And the Prophet ﷺ, like 40 years of his life, you can say. You know,
more than that, yeah.
More than 40 years, from the age of 8, you could say, till the age he was 48 to 50 years old.
He died in Am al-Huzn, so like almost 41 years.
41 years. This man, he took care of the Prophet ﷺ, gave him shade, gave him comfort, and the Prophet ﷺ is going all over Mecca, going to Ta'if, going to different places, calling people towards Allah. And Abu Talib, the one who gave him the most comfort, he's on his deathbed now, and the Prophet ﷺ walks into the room to give him da'wah one last time to accept the kalima la ilaha illallah. What happened, Hussein?
I mean, look how passionate he was. This is my uncle who supported me the whole time. I know people who are converts can relate to this because their parents were, they had this situation. But many of us are fortunate because our parents are Muslims, we're Muslims. But imagine going to your father or your uncle and you love him so much and you're trying to convince him to accept Islam. He said, "Am kalimatan wahida ushaffi'u laka amama rabbi." Oh, my uncle, just say la ilaha illallah once, I will take care of business in akhirah. I will make sure Jannat is provided for you. Just say it once. And Abu Jahl is sitting there, and he says to Abu Talib on his deathbed, "Are you serious? Are you going to leave the religion of your forefathers for your nephew on your deathbed? You can't do this." And the Prophet is sitting there trying to convince him. I'm sure the Prophet prayed for his guidance too. And here he is, leaves this world without iman, without any faith, and he passes away. And the Prophet ﷺ started to pray for him. Mufti Sahib, there's the ayah I have to show you this. There's an ayah that comes in the Quran where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, where Ibrahim alayhi salam,
ما كان النبي والذين آمنوا أن يستغفروا للمشركين ولو كانوا أولي قربى من بعد ما
وما كان استغفار إبراهيم لأبيه إلا أن موعدة وعدها إياه. Like Prophet ﷺ used to make dua for him. Ya Allah, please forgive him, please forgive him. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed this ayah, إنك لا تهدي من أحببت ولكن الله يهدي من يشاء. He left this world without hidayah. You cannot give guidance. Two things we have no influence in: guidance and rizq, sustenance. This is all God's choice. And here comes the uncle of the Prophet who leaves the world without any guidance. We see this happening again in the same surahs that we covered. Nuh alayhi salam's son, Nuh alayhi salam's wife, Lut alayhi salam's wife, the Prophet's uncle. What does that tell us? We are so fortunate that we are Muslims. that God gave us Islam and we didn't have to strive for it too much. And sometimes you're like, we didn't fill in any application for this and we're Muslims. So, and you know that Imam Shafi says, وَلَوْ شَاءَ رَبُّكَ أَن تُصْلَى جَهَنَّمَ خَالِدًا مَا كَانَ أَلْهَمَ قَلْبَكَ التَّوْحِيدِ. I love this poem. Imam Shafi says, if God had planned to throw you in the fire of hell, he would have never given you Islam. What does that mean?
Honestly, the reality is the greatest ni'mah we have is this ni'mah of Islam. I have witnessed converts trying to convince their loved ones on their deathbed to say the kalima in the hospital, and their mother or their loved one leave this world without the kalima, and these people collapse, knowing that my father, my uncle, my grandfather, they can't function. Imagine what the Prophet ﷺ was going through. And here we are, Allah has gifted us this kalima. So there's the thing about a gift, my brothers and sisters who are watching, and my bajan, for you and me, the thing about a gift is, a gift, when it's given to someone, it's entrusted with that person. And there are some requirements with gifts. If you don't take care of a gift, so this Miftaah cup over here, we might gift it to some of the viewers, right? Because they love the cup. If we gift something to somebody, like someone comes back from Hajj and Umrah, and he gives you an itar in the masjid, bajan, and then you leave that, you take, oh, thank you, man, and you put that itar on the member, you forget it there. Every time he comes for salah,
you mean the perfume, scent?
Perfume, scent. He sees that this person, I gave him a gift, I went to the store to buy him something, and he just left it there, doesn't even value it. This person will never give you a gift again. So that is why appreciating the gift of Allah, of Islam, of Deen, by following the commandments of Allah and following the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ, this is the way we appreciate Deen and Islam. And if we do, it will be preserved with us and we will die with us. But if we don't do this, there's a chance where we have no guarantee that we will die with this kalima. How many people, like in Surah Al-Mu'minun, Allah is talking about that ayah where that person who's writing the wahi, ثُمَّ خَلَقْتَ الْعَلَقَةَ مُضْغَةً فَخَلَقْتَ الْمُضْغَةَ عِظَامًا, that whole ayah, that ayah about the formation of a human being, the child, this person is writing it, and a thought comes to his mind, فَتَبَارَكَ اللَّهُ أَحْسَنُ الْخَالِقِينَ, how great is Allah, the one who created this. A thought comes to his mind, and that is also the revelation that comes from the skies. And it synchronizes with his thought. And so he's the one writing the wahi. Allah, the Prophet is speaking and he's writing, and the thought comes to his mind, and that thought was also what came from the skies. So when he said, you know what, this is Muhammad, this is the truth, he just chooses and picks the best words from different places and he puts it together. This person who was writing the wahi from Allah, from the tongue of the Prophet left the fold of Islam and became murtad, right? So how can we, safeguard ourselves and protect ourselves? Can
you give us some tips on how we can, preserve our faith and die with iman, and our children can also die with faith?
We have a few minutes left, and I'll just say, I love to say that just the biggest thing for me is just with being completely overwhelmed with appreciation of this ni'mah of Islam. Sometimes we don't even, but that's why whenever we start, we say, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Just appreciating that Allah has given us this ni'mah, even if we're sinners, but the fact is that Allah has given us this ni'mah, this is how we protect it.
I think one of the ways we can die with iman and faith is at least honoring the concepts of faith, honoring the Quran, honoring the Prophet. Even if we can't follow them, just honor them. Don't disrespect their names. Don't disrespect the Prophet ﷺ's name when it's mentioned. And even if something is mentioned about the Prophet or Islam, don't discard it like you disregard it as it's not something important. Value Islam. And of course, always wanting to die with, Mufti Sahib, in Khandak, I conclude with them. Sorry, the Prophet ﷺ was digging, right? And he was making this dua.
Before this one sister who's Adam's mother, right? Adam from Flint, right?
Yeah.
I like Adam because he came to study with us and he's going to teach me tennis. So we're going to give her this mug because she talks about the mug every day.
Every day she wants the mug. We'll give it to her.
Next time you come, I'm going to give it to you, Bajan. A new one. Khalas, right?
Okay. And there's some people in the chat that are saying that you look a little angry today, a little disappointed. Are you not happy? Did your wife not give you an iftar? What happened?
Who said that?
Somebody said you look a little bit disappointed. Look angry.
Who said that?
Somebody. Don't worry who said that. Don't gossip. Don't gossip.
Then I'm good. Inshallah, I'm going to be in i'tikaf tomorrow, Bajan. I'tikaf, inshallah.
Well, you pray for me, man. Quarantine upon quarantine.
Yeah, I'll be in the masjid for i'tikaf for the last 10 days. Inshallah, my background will be different. I'll be in a different setting, inshallah.
MashaAllah. So Mufti Sahib, Prophet ﷺ is making this dua while he's digging the trench. And he's saying, Ya muqallib al-qulub, oh the one who changes the heart, keep my heart on the truth. Thabbit qalbi ala dinik, right? The one who flips the heart. You know, this is being said while the Prophet is in Khandaq, one of the, serving Islam. The Sahaba say, Ya Rasulullah, hal takhafu alayna, do you fear that we're going to change our religion? Do you fear that we're going to leave Islam? And the Prophet ﷺ said, Mufti Sab, Inna al-qulub bayna usbi'ayn min asabi rahman. Hearts are between the finger of God. How many times you have a child and all of a sudden they flip on the opposite side? And how many times you have someone who's not praying, not fasting, and then they also change? So we always ask Allah to keep us on the right side and the right path. Mufti Sab, you didn't say Urdu poetry today, so you have to say something.
No, but I have to go for Taraweeh. I promise I'll say tomorrow. I'll be in I'tikaf. You make dua for us. I'll make dua for you, inshallah, and we'll see you tomorrow. Jazakallah khair.
Bajan. From the masjid?
Yeah, I'm going to the Miftaah campus, inshallah. Doing it from there.
Yo, please, man, don't go public with the hugs and stuff like that. Keep distance. Social distance is important.
No, we're gonna be only a few people. Only a few people. I've been doing I'tikaf for the last so many years. I have to do it, Bajan, inshallah.
Man, I'm gonna miss you. But I'll see you tomorrow night.
You see me anyways. We see you on screen. So we'll give virtual hugs to each other.
Dua. I make dua for us, make dua for the ummah. You know, I mean, a beautiful thing that you're doing. You know, I'm sure you're happy. Your wife is happy that you're going to the masjid for 10 days.
All right, Bajan. Assalamu alaikum. Inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.